Yo, what's going on? I'm going to do a reaction to Charley Casserly. I think I said that right. His second mock draft. He had a very interesting one last time. I think he was the dude who had the Falcons trading back to like 8 and drafting Najee Harris. So hopefully none of that this time, or I think I'll flip out. We'll get into it. I mean, first picks are obvious: Trevor Lawrence and Zach Wilson. Yeah, everybody seems to have this pick. Some people could maybe switch up the Jets one, but you're not going to see anything really different. Two best quarterbacks in the class for quarterback needy teams. And then Mac Jones again. I just hate it. I feel like the Niners were just making a really big mistake. I think the fifth best quarterback in the draft. I think Trey Lance would be a better pick to develop behind Jimmy Garoppolo for maybe a year, and then come in. I think he'd be really good, and I think Justin Fields can be an amazing player for San Francisco also, and he could be the best quarterback if he does go to there because it's such a good system and they're such a complete roster. So I just don't like Mac Jones there. Falcons Kyle Pitts, yeah, this makes sense. Also, they if they don't trade out, this is probably what they would do unless they go for a quarterback. But Kyle Pitts is a very talented tight end from Florida, and that could just make their offense amazing now. Just be a big time weapon. And then the Bengals, Penei Sewell, all he wrote was this pick's all about protecting Joe Burrow, and that definitely makes sense. Penei Sewell's a really good prospect. He can play guard and tackle. He could play guard straight away, to be honest, because they kind of got their tackles, I guess. I mean, Riley Reef isn't that good, but you're not going to start him. You're probably going to start him, or else that'd just be weird. So Penei Sewell, they protect Joe Burrow, can be his future tackle, and a good player. So I like that. And Jamar Chase, yeah, this draft is pretty good so far. I mean, I probably wouldn't do much different besides that Mac Jones. But yeah, this pick, the Dolphins, Jamar Chase, yeah, that'd be a really good pick. You team him up with Tua Tagovailoa. I think if he doesn't go to the Bengals, then this is a very good possibility. They traded back up, so they kind of suggest that they want a big time weapon probably, because they still had a good pick. I think it was 12 they traded up from, and they get big time receiver in Jamar Chase, big separator, amazing receiver. And then the Lions, they go Devontae Smith. Yeah, I like it. I think Devontae Smith or Jalen Waddle would be good fits, to be honest. Devontae Smith, he's a really good. Like, there's not the size concerns aren't really that bad, to be honest, because he was good against press, which is weird because he could just win off of the line because he's just so fast and so technical with his feet and everything. He doesn't have to be physical. He's not going to be physical with his size, but everything else about his game is like perfect, pretty much. So the Lions get a number one receiver, and that'd be a really good wideout for Jared Goff. So number 8, the Panthers go Rashawn Slater. Yeah, Rashawn Slater makes sense. The Panthers, they need another tackle for Sam Darnold to protect him, and Rashawn Slater would fit him perfectly. He also has versatility in the guard position, so you just get a really good prospect who can hopefully just be on your team for a very long, like a lot of years to come, because that O-line kind of needs younger players also. And then the Broncos, Micah Parsons. I mean, I think personally, if Trey Lance is on the board, Justin Fields actually is on the board. I think, yeah, Justin Fields. Bro, if Justin Fields is on the board, I wouldn't take Micah Parsons, to be honest. You can improve your team much more than rolling with what is it? Drew Lock, who just isn't really that good. And Micah Parsons, like, he's a good player. He's probably going to be a good player in the league, and he would be good in this system. And Vic Fangio could use him a lot of ways, but Justin Fields can be a better quarterback than Drew Lock straight away, and I think really step your team up in that jump it needs, because that's kind of their only really big need. And the Cowboys, Patrick Surtain, yeah, this seems to be the pick for everybody. Some people have J.C. Horn, but I think Patrick Surtain is just a really good fit for the Cowboys, and I like it. And team him up with Trayvon Diggs. The Giants, Kwity Paye. Yeah, I don't mind it. I like Kwity Paye. I think he's the best edge defender in the draft. I think they could trade down and still get Kwity Paye, though. That's the only thing. Or they could go for a player like Jalen Waddle, or maybe they don't like Daniel Jones. They could go for a quarterback, but they probably don't do that. They probably just try and build around Daniel Jones. Kwity Paye's a really good pass rusher, so I like it. I don't mind it too much. And then the Eagles, Jalen Waddle. Oh, stop comparing him to Tyreek Hill. Everybody does it. Any speed that comes out. Oh, it's Tyreek Hill. Oh. I mean, Waddle is a really good player. He's probably not Tyreek Hill, but you never know. You can't just say that. And then Jalen Waddle, yeah, they do have a ton of speed on their offense. I think if Devontae Smith is here, I would pick Devontae Smith over Jalen Waddle. But I do like Jalen Waddle. He's a really good player. So I don't mind it, to be honest. Jalen Waddle is a good player. It's not a bad pick. It's not bad. Yeah, they could use a big weapon also. And then the Chargers, they go for Elijah Vera Tucker. Why? Like, there's Christian Darrisaw and Tevin Jenkins. Why would you go for a guard? I know he played tackle, but he wasn't that good. Kayvon Thibodeau, who's probably going to be one of the best players in the draft next year, exposed him at tackle, and other players did. And Elijah Vera Tucker is better, compares better at guard when they've already got guards there. So there's just better tackles you can take that can start straight away. So I don't like that. And then Washington trades up for Trey Lance. Yeah, I think that's a really good possibility. If Trey Lance is still on the board, where'd Justin Fields go? Am I tripping? Bro, what is this? Justin Fields is still on the board. Okay. I mean, I think personally I'd go with Justin Fields in front of Trey Lance, man. But, I mean, just the fact of Washington trading up for a quarterback, I think, is a really good option. They got Fitzmagic, who be there for the first year. He could definitely, if they do take Trey Lance, it'd be good to start him in front of Trey Lance, and Trey Lance can learn from a really good veteran quarterback and Ryan Fitzpatrick. And he would be a good quarterback for a Washington football team. I just think Justin Fields is a better quarterback, so where the heck is Justin Fields getting picked? Like, the Eagles, they could consider Justin Fields. The Giants, maybe even Patriots. I don't know why they wouldn't take Justin Fields. That's a bit weird. But they go for J.C. Horn, who's a really good cornerback. It's probably my second cornerback in the draft. Cliff Farley probably after, but his injury, yeah. Yeah, J.C. Horn would be a good player in the system. Stephon Gilmore, he could be gone after this season, to be honest, because like they could maybe look to trade him. They could do that in the draft if they want to trade out for a quarterback. You never know what's going to happen. And J.C. Jackson, they put like a second round or first round tender on him or something. So yeah, but then J.C. Horn, he'd be a really good cornerback, and that defense would be pretty fire now. And the Cardinals, Caleb Farley, yeah, I think this pick makes a lot of sense. I think they would also consider tackle or Christian Barmore here if they really are concerned about the injuries. But Caleb Farley, yeah, he's very talented, and the Cardinals are very thin at cornerback, so I like it. And then the Raiders, they go Tevin Jenkins. I mean, they could take Justin Fields if he's here also. I don't know what he's doing now. But Tevin Jenkins, yeah, they probably wouldn't take him, but it's definitely a possibility. And I really like Tevin Jenkins. He has him in front of Christian Darrisaw, or maybe it's just a scheme. But he can definitely start straight away for the Raiders. And he's a really good scheme fit, to be honest. I think Christian Barmore could also be a pick here, though. That's the only thing. And then the Dolphins, Jalen Phillips. I mean, they could maybe consider Justin Fields if they don't think Tua is the answer, but probably not going to do that because they should probably give Tua a chance. So they go for Jalen Phillips. Yeah, of course he has those injury concerns with all the concussions, but Jalen Phillips is a really talented defender, and they could use a replacement on the edge for Kyle Van Noy, who they lost, and they also lost somebody else. Was it Ogba? It might have been Ogba, or was it? I always get confused with the Ogba. If Ogba, I don't think it is Ogba. I think it's the player who played for Cincinnati. I can't remember, but they lost two players on their edge, and Jalen Phillips could be a really good player. Stays in Miami, and he's a very talented player, so I like it. He has good technique also. It's pretty decent. Pretty decent. Probably the best technique in the draft. And then the Vikings, Christian Darrisaw, I don't know what they could probably consider Justin Fields also, but they go for Christian Darrisaw. Yeah, I like the pick of Christian Darrisaw. Their O-line's very weak, and Christian Darrisaw is a very good player. He's probably just a tackle, to be honest, but he's a very good tackle, so I like it. Bears, why wouldn't they go for Justin Fields now, bro? I think he was the one who had him fall to the Steelers also. Bro, this old dude just needs to get out of here. But Greg Newsome for the Bears, yeah, it's probably not going to be a very fancy pick for the Bears. They're kind of just in that position where it's just like drops off from all the amazing players unless somebody drops. But yeah, I like Greg Newsome. I prefer Asante Samuel, but I think Greg Newsome in this for the Bears would be a good fit also. He also stays up north. Not like that's a big deal, but I guess familiarity. And the Bears, yeah, they lost Kyle Fuller. They could use a big time cornerback to replace that secondary and help it out. The Colts, they could probably go for Justin Fields also. But Kadarius Toney, I haven't really seen this pick. This is a bit of a surprising one. They could use a good receiver. I think maybe a bigger receiver would be more helpful for the system though. But I do like Toney. He is a good receiver. I think Bateman they could go for over. I think I probably would go for Bateman preferably, just because he's a better jump ball receiver and like contested catcher and has good like length in the arms and everything. But I like Kadarius Toney anyway, so it's not horrible. Titans go Jalen Mayfield. Wow, Jalen Mayfield. They're just trying to repeat Isaiah Wilson. I mean, he's not going to be out Isaiah Wilson. I don't think he's going to have the character concerns. But Jalen Mayfield, he's definitely not the best tackle available, I think, personally. And the Titans, there's probably better value players that could go for it now, like a receiver. Like Rashad Bateman would be a perfect player there. Even Elijah Moore would be a good fit. Just any receiver, pretty much, or corner would be better than this pick, to be honest. But they could also address it. I think they could address tackle later in the draft also. It's just kind of pushing back all the better players that they could get now when they could get an average tackle in second round. And then the Jets, Gregory Rousseau. Yeah, he'd be a good fit alongside all the players they brought in. He is a developmental player, Gregory Rousseau, so he will need developing because he is very raw. But I think he has massive upside, but also can be is like kind of boom or bust. Like he could definitely be a bust, and it's kind of weird with Gregory Rousseau. You don't really know the range that he's gonna go. He could be an early first round pick. Like some teams might just be really high from him, or he could be late round or even second round. It's just teams are probably going to fall in love with him and take him for the upside. So I think there's a possibility. And finally, the Pittsburgh Steelers. What the heck? This would be such a steal. I'm pretty sure if Justin Fields fell all the way to here, a team would have traded up already for him. But I guess we'll just focus on the pick right now. I hate this. Did he do this in his last mock draft? This is triggering me. But Justin Fields, super good quarterback, falls to 24 to Steelers. I guess the Steelers, I mean, if they get Justin Fields here, then they'd just be amazing for them. He can be an amazing replacement for Big Ben in the future, and that's just like frick, man. No way that's happening. And Jags, Pat Freiermuth, yeah, I like this. Pat Freiermuth, I think this is a definite possibility. I think maybe Christian Barmore could also be a pick here, or another big time receiver. They could probably get Pat Freiermuth like pick 35 or something, whatever their second round pick is. I like Pat Freiermuth, and they brought in the Penn State tight end coach, so it makes sense. And 26, Browns, JOK. JOK would be a really good player here. Like, the Browns, they kind of just need a linebacker on that defense. That's it. They addressed all their other positions in free agency. Maybe another edge defender, but that's not as big of a need now. So Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah can fit in straight away, be a very versatile player. And then Ravens, Joe Tryon. I mean, if they're really high on Joe Tryon, I wouldn't mind that. I think I prefer players like Azeez Ojulari probably here. I probably wouldn't go for Joe Tryon. But I can definitely see why you'd be high on him. He has like amazing quickness and power. Like, it's just a really talented player. And he opted out. And my favorite team, New Orleans Saints, Asante Samuel. Yeah, I would love this pick. I'm a really big fan of Asante Samuel Jr. Guess his dad I'm probably a fan of also. He's a good player. Well, was. Yeah, the Saints really need cornerback. They lost Janoris Jenkins, only got Marshawn Lattimore. And he's a free agent next year also, so the Saints could use another player in the secondary. So Zaven Collins to the Packers. Yeah, he's a pretty decent fit. I think there's a lot of ways the Packers could go. Linebacker is a need. I would like a weapon if Bateman's here. I would love that more than Zaven Collins. Like, I just think you can do better than Zayvon Collins, to be honest. Even Christian Barmore. It's just a weird draft. And then the Bills, they go Tyson Campbell. I'm not this high on Tyson Campbell. I don't think I would have him at 30 to the Bills. Like, I think he's a second round prospect at, like, probably as high as he could definitely be a third round pick. He is a good corner. He was the number one corner at Georgia. He has definitely got big, like, concerns with just, like, he will pass interference a lot in the NFL, but that's Georgia. So, I mean, I think there's better corners, but I don't mind it. The Chiefs, they go Liam Eichenberg. Yeah, I guess you could plug in at tackle. He doesn't have the amazing size for tackle, like his arm length. That's why people are kind of saying he's going to play guard in the league, which is a definite possibility if the teams don't need a tackle. But he did play tackle at Notre Dame, so he could definitely do that for the Chiefs also. And the Bucks go Najee Harris. I think there is better picks here, but it's not horrible. And I mean, Christian Barmore would be probably a better pick, or one of the edge defenders. Still good players there. So I don't love the pick, but it's not that bad, to be honest. Like, Najee Harris would be a good player, but they do have some running backs, so it's not bad. But yeah, that's his draft. Pretty funky, you know. I mean, everything else was kind of okay. Like, you could definitely see it happening. Besides the Justin Fields, what is he thinking? Does he actually, in his right mind, think Justin Fields is falling to 24th in the draft? Like, nobody in the right mind's thinking that. So you're delusional. Jalen Mayfield's a weird pick. There's Tony. I can see better picks. J.C. Horn, they could definitely pick. Why would they not pick quarterback? Why would they not pick Justin Fields? Why would they not pick Justin Fields? Why would the Giants maybe even... Why would the Broncos not pick Justin Fields? Like, Panthers, Justin Fields. Lions, Justin Fields. It's dumb. Like, I don't get it. Falcons, Justin Fields. Niners, Justin Fields. There's no way he falls to 24. I'll put a bet and I'll bet all my money that he doesn't go here. So, Charles Casserly, I'm a better NFL analyst than you. So, I think you should get out of the NFL and I'll replace your job and I won't make dumb mistakes like this to get popularity. So, yeah, that was a bit of a rant. Just kind of mad at this. I mean, I don't know why, but, like, it's just a bit weird. There's no way he's actually thinking it's going to happen. So I hope you enjoyed and have fun.